name's Dale Graves. I've helped develop the mini ROV from Mabari, which we're using on this expedition. I think this is our 5th trip up here with it. So, and I just recently retired from Mabari and came back one last time for Charlie invited me, and I was glad to come up, so to help out. So I've been with Mabari for 27 years, doing ROV work. I came to Mabari and worked on some of their bigger, deeper vehicles, and then worked in the operations group for about 15 years, then moved over into the engineering group and, let's say, helped design and build the mini ROV for these remote expeditions. Before that, I think overall I've been in the industry about 40 years. I worked in manned submersibles and ROVs and for defense work and oil field work and then science with Mabari. Yeah, I mean, our ROVs are a great technology because like in the manned submersibles, you have a very limited time down there. When I first got into manned submersibles, it kind of blew my mind away that, you hop in this thing. The first time I went down, and I'd never been in a submarine, I did a little scuba diving, but that was about it. And got in the manned sub, went down and turned all the lights out. And we had Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon playing and the bioluminescence from the animals. It was just, right then I knew that this is what I wanted to do the rest of my career. And then the ROV technologies started to grow and get more reliable. And so, it's kind of shoved manned submersibles out of the way and ROVs took over. And I was excited to get in that industry too. And it really is, it's like being in a manned sub, but you're in a control room instead of in the vehicle itself. And you stay warm and dry and safe. And so it's great technology and it's really become very reliable. So,
my name is Frank Flores and I'm the lead mini ROV pilot. I've been at Mabari for almost 22 years now. Dale, he would design a lot of stuff for the mini ROV. Then he would task us with certain things to build. And that's how our group had all their hands in developing the mini ROV system. I think Charlie is very happy with the 9 dives that he got with the ROV. He got a lot of good samples, a lot of good data, and we got to see things that no one's ever seen before.
It is. I have to admit, it can be a stressful situation sometimes. You get that vehicle into a predicament that is not comfortable, and you have to keep your calm. It doesn't do any good to stress out because that's when mistakes are made. So it is very helpful if you can be calm in those type situations. So, and we have days where the weather's questionable and we have to make a decision whether we should, risk the gear or not. And that's always very stressful because we know the scientists, they really want to get in and get that data. And we want to get it for them, but we also want to make sure the vehicle's available the next day to get the data for them. And so sometimes we have to make the call and just say no, and that's hard to do. But I would say most of the time the scientists are very understandable. They realize that they really want to get in the water and collect it, but if we do, we might break it, and then we won't have it the next day. So.
Oh, as being one of the part of the mini ROV team, do I remember my first day? Yeah, it was in the Arctic on the Canadian icebreaker, the Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Dale said, "Okay, it's your turn to be the pilot." Yeah, I was really nervous because I've never done it before, but I kind of just got in the seat and knew what to do. And, of course, I had a little bit of help in case I ran into problems or trouble. But yeah, like I said, I just picked it up, came natural to me. And still to this day, I'm still learning things. I think I will continue learning. One day I hope to be like Dale is, but those are tough shoes to fill. Dale's, people say it, at Mabari, Dale's retired now, but people out in Bari say Dale's, he's a legend, and it's true. And I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to work with somebody like that and be taught, and learn from somebody that knows so much about it.
Yeah, well, we don't look at it as a failure. I mean, you can't beat Mother Nature. If Mother Nature doesn't want you to get in that day, you don't get in. We had some extremely high currents on the surface, and it was more than what the ROV could overcome. So, we want to make sure we keep the vehicle working so we can continue to make more dives in the future. And they're expensive. It's an expensive piece of gear, and so we basically had to call it and say it's just not worth the risk. We don't want to lose it.
I mean, things, just like a car, things don't last forever. Sometimes things just wear out, or it may leak a little bit, or something goes out in the motor or the communication systems, and that's why we're sure to bring extras in case that happens. So we had extras, and we just swapped them out, made sure they were programmed right, and worked just fine. They're limited. The motors that we have are limited as far as power goes. So once you get a little bit of weight, I think they weren't liking that too much. So that's kind of where we ran into problems, but we were able to get it working and get the samples picked up, push cores and water samples and everything back up to the surface so they can do their stuff in the lab.
I have to agree that the ship's crew has been great. They're very understanding of our needs, what we need to do, and they've been extremely helpful. I think they feel as bad as we do if the weather's bad and we can't get it in, because there was one day that the bosun and captain said, no, it's too rough, and I know they really wanted to get the vehicle in the water but couldn't. And that's great. They respect the gear too and know that we need to keep going. But yeah, they've been very professional, great group. So we really enjoyed. When I heard that we were coming back out on the Araon, I was very excited, and that's why I came back out of retirement to come back out for one more trip, because I really enjoy working on this ship.
Yeah, working with Dale's great. If I have questions about the system, I'll text him or give him a call, but he'll be around. We'll keep bringing him back to do some trips with us, because I know he doesn't want to let go yet.
Yeah.
He's trying, but it's hard for him.
It is. I mean, this was a dream job for me, a dream career. It was fun. I looked forward to going to work every day, and it's over now, so I'll miss that part of it, but I'm kind of looking forward to other things. So, I mean, someone I've been working with for, 10, 15 years or more. So yeah, I will miss it, but it's time to move on to the next phase of my life. So, and I might come back out and help a little more.
But yeah, I'm ready to go home. It's been a great trip. No regrets. Met a lot of great people and made new friends, including you.
Sure, let's go down in the hole. Okay. So let's mark the time. So we got this as 1860. 26.
I just took a dive. Another ticket.
Let's see.
Did you move it?